What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Inside View. Brian, I'm super excited today because it's the first time in a while that I can actually see out of my eyes.
We're making good eye contact.
We're making good eye contact. It's been 2 weeks of just the worst eye infection that my 2-year-old daughter has given to my entire family, which apparently was not contagious. Clearly it is.
You got punched in the face every which way but Sunday.
But it's good to be able to see again. I mean, up until today, I was literally blind.
Well, a perfect time for you to reawaken and reopen your eyes.
Perfect timing.
An awesome guest.
We have an aspirational guest today, someone that we've probably looked to as a role model growing up. This guy is just amazing at everything he does. He's an overachiever, and he's built a $1 billion empire.
Yeah. And we could spend hours and hours with him. So, I mean, our challenge today is to try to narrow it down and just take advantage of the time and make sure that we ask the right questions and get a great interview with him.
Yeah.
But I am so excited. I mean,
I am excited. Should we tell everybody?
I think we should. Yeah. I think we should mention it.
So today we're interviewing Richard Branson.
Sir Richard Branson.
You guys may have known him from Virgin Galactic, Virgin Airlines. He is an absolute pioneer. And today we're here to talk about his newest venture, which is the Virgin Voyage. Brand new ship, the Lady Scarlet, which he's putting out in the water. And
adults only, right?
Adults only, which is my kind of cruise. Speaking of cruises, I don't know about you, but I took a cruise. The last cruise I took was probably 5 years ago, and I swore up and down I would never take a cruise again.
Yeah, same. I mean, the food, everything is just so the same. The entertainment, it just feels like been there, done that.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's just, I can think of a million other things that I'd rather do with a vacation than a cruise.
Right.
But I think Richard is changing the game in the cruise industry like he does everything else.
Taking a look at what he's got cooking here, this looks pretty impressive, pretty insane.
It's insane, and we're going to share with you guys not only, of course, Richard's story, but we're going to share some insight photos and some galleries of things that you are just going to drool over this cruise ship. I mean, it is just a rock star experience.
Yeah.
So
that's the best way to describe it. Rock star experience. Yeah. So we're excited.
We are excited, and hopefully we'll be able to take a cruise on his ship.
Or go to space.
Or go to space,
Whatever comes first.
But it looks like Richard has just joined us. He's waiting on the line, so we're not going to keep him waiting. And let's get going.
Oh, my God, there's 2 of them.
Oh!
We got to fit in the same screen.
What's going on?
What's going on? Lots, but I wish you were here, as they say.
It must have been a crazy day. A lot of interviews I've heard. So,
well, you're the last, so
There you go.
I like being the last.
Save the best for last.
I like to be the last. So,
anyway, cheers.
Cheers. So I know we've got so much that we want to ask you, and we're super excited to have you. So we'll jump right in.
Your map of the world looks much more interesting than the real map. Actually, it's lovely.
So you're joining us right now on the Scarlet Lady, which is super exciting. I guess my very first question, and we're going to be here to obviously talk about the ship and your newest venture. So we'll try to stay on track. But my very first question, which I'm sure you can probably really spend all day on, which we'll try not to, but what got you into the cruise industry, and what did you see wrong with the cruise industry, which I know I see so much wrong, which led you to start this newest venture?
I've never been on a cruise. I've never been interested in particularly going on a cruise. And so I thought that was right for Virgin territory. I mean, we I used to hate flying on other people's airlines, so we started Virgin Atlantic. I didn't like the way recording studios worked for rock and roll bands, so we started recording studio division. I didn't like the way record companies looked after recording artists, so we did the same. So basically, most people are not that interested in going on cruises, so I talked to a lot of them and tried to find out, why they weren't interested. Things like, having to queue up for buffets on cruise ships and the lack of intimacy about it. And then I talked to, people who had been on cruise ships and found out, what it was that they didn't like about them and what they liked about them. And I would never ever build a super yacht. The idea of having a 300, 400 foot yacht or 500 foot yacht for one family, I think is about the most distasteful thing one could imagine.
It's like 5 football fields. I couldn't even imagine. Yeah.
But could we not build a super yacht for people? Where every corner you turn was designed like the best super yacht in the world, and that was a lot more fun than super yachts because it had some fun people on board where you could go and party in and have a good time with and so on. And so we got together designers that had helped us create Virgin America or helped us create different like even Virgin Galactic and other
Sure.
You can see the look of the sort of Virgin Galactic spaceship and the mothership and the spaceport, and so we got our best designers together and said, let's create a ship that's not a spaceship but it's a cruise ship. Let's not call it a cruise ship, let's call it a Virgin a voyage rather than a cruise ship, and let's make sure that every single corner you turn is special, and the end result has been Scarlet Lady, which I wish you were here, but it truly is. I think I haven't seen many other cruise ships, but from what I've heard and the feedback I've had from people who've been on it, they've got it bang on right.
I could only imagine. I mean, just from seeing the photos alone, it looks spectacular.
We've been on more than enough cruises to echo your sentiments as far as they all kind of feel the same and the buffets and so forth. So, you were talking about yachts, and you've had your own yacht for some time, right? The Necker Bell, I believe. So did that play into? It sounds like that kind of played into
a sailing boat, which we sold a few years ago, and it was quite small. I mean, relatively. I mean, it could have 10 people on board, but
okay.
So it wasn't really it wasn't the kind of yacht that the yachts that I've seen in the BVI coming through occasionally. But I think we got 10 different designers together to create this. Almost none of them had been involved in the cruise business before, so they all brought in fresh ideas. We got on board Tom, who runs the cruise company, who had experience with Disney Cruises before running that. And one of the things he said early on was, let's make it adult only. If you don't have to cater for kids, you can create areas, a whole lots of areas on board that that you wouldn't have room for on other cruise ships.
So basically, the opposite of a Disney cruise.
Exactly. So if I want my grandkids to go on a cruise ship, they can.
You got plenty of options.
Be happy to.
Well, we're going to circle back to the adults only part, because that we're really interested in the inspiration behind that. But I wanted to get back and just talk a little bit about the design. And is there anything specific that you feel is kind of special or specific design
other than the entire ship?
Yeah, anything that I know from end to end, I'm sure it's all amazing. But is there anything specific that stands out to you from a design standpoint?
Do you know I'm not sure there's any sort of one thing that just says, let me just think what sums it all up. I'm a bit of a fitness,
Sure.
fanatic, and I've reached the age where fitness is important. They've got enormous areas on the top of the ship, workout areas. with obviously spectacular views, out of the ship. A beautiful running track all the way around the top of the ship, especially, and when you run on it, it's like rubber, and your shoes just sink into it, and it's a really comfortable place to run, and obviously you're on top of the ship, so you get great views.
Wow.
A massive jacuzzi, when you've had enough of running, which you can jump in and have a few drinks, and then you can go back on the running track to get rid of the alcohol if you want. The fitness side, is.
But I think you hit the nail on the head, and obviously, hopefully, our readers will take the opportunity to experience it in person. But the fact that you're working with designers that have no experience in the industry, it's going to be unlike anything we've ever seen. So really, everything is going to be state of the art and new. And
yeah, I mean the whole sort of dance, theatre, music side, rooms they can change at a moment's notice, and obviously because I'm from the music world, in the entertainment world, I think we know how to create a really great entertainment experience that people like.
Richard, awesome. Speaking of the rooms, that's something that I think really stood out to me when I was looking at the ship. The rock star quarters, the mega rock stars. I love all the themed quarters. You've got brilliant suites and posh suites and fab suites, and the list goes on and on. Tell me a little bit about these rooms and how unique they are, and you've got so many different styles and flavors.
Do I think I'm sorry. I'm kind of at the end of a long day. Anyway, look, in a general sense, and I'm actually going to spend 3.5 days on the cruise next week, and it'd be maybe better to do the interview after that. But I mean, the delightful thing is the variety of all the spaces when you go around it. But I'll get our CEO Tom to give you a ring.
No problem. We've only got 2 more questions anyway. So, what's your favorite restaurant on board?
Oh God! My favorite restaurant. I don't know whether I've experienced.
The culinary experience, for example. So the background of the birth of this restaurant. Is there something that kind of?
So we've got 20 completely different restaurants,
which is quite a portfolio.
It won't be till next week where I will start to experience them all. Ask me another question.
All right, last question. I think this is something key. We're very interested into why you decided to make this adults only. I'm sure we have some ideas, but can you kind of just share the vision or the inspiration behind that?
I think that I'm a granddad. I love having grandkids running around me, and I loved having kids running around. But I think there are people who just want to go on holiday and leave the kids at home and let their hair down a bit and not have not have kids running up and down the corridors. Now, if this was a kid ship, it would have to be designed completely differently than if it was an adult-only ship. As an adult-only ship, everything can be aimed at adults, and it can be aimed at adults having a really great time. And there aren't many companies that do adults-only ships.
There's really not. Yeah, no.
So it helps make us very unique.
And I know from having kids myself, you go on a vacation, especially a cruise, you don't want, at least for me, you don't want kids running around screaming, and it's a completely different experience.
Yeah, you can pop over to Disney to do that, and then come and recover with us. Well, not necessarily recover, but come and have a good time with us.
Very exciting.
I'm sorry. I dodged a couple of your questions, but
not at all. Listen, you've had a really long day, and it's now 6:30 p.m. I don't even know how many interviews you probably went through today.
We're about to go into the party, so I better go and get,
there you go.
Get my stuff ready.
Richard,
thank
you very much. Our pleasure.
Cheers.
All right, so we had 13 minutes and 46 seconds with Richard Branson, and I got to be honest with you, I think that's probably more time than I was even expecting. Guy
I would have wanted a little bit more time.
I would have loved more time, but I mean, I'm pleased with 13 minutes. The guy's been through probably 15 interviews today, and he looked absolutely exhausted. He was ready to go have a cocktail, but
I think we should too.
yeah, I think we should too.
Well, listen, at the end of the day, you have a lot more that you can experience in the next issue of You Magazine. He's actually going to be on our cover.
He will.
Sir Richard Branson.
November, December. Look out
Yeah.
for it. He'll be our cover feature, and we'll have a little bit more of an in-depth article as we were able to ask Richard some more questions offline.
And photos of the ship.
And, of course, photos of the ship.
Yeah.
But thanks for tuning in, guys. And remember, it's all about the view.
We'll see you next time.